Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk to you about this little item I've bought. It's a 20 volt cordless wood cutter, or a pruning saw if you want to be more specific. I bought this for $24.99, bare unit, without a battery or charger. They do recommend a 2 amp battery. Look at that here, which I think is very, very small. I would be putting something bigger on her. So here we are. We'll get this open and out of the case to see what I got for that massive sum of $24.99 from local German supermarket. Lidl. Comes in a nice little case, you know, and we'll get her open. Right, so here we are. We've got a copious bottle of oil. I mean, she's not self-oiling. Probably have to oil the chain every time. And spare chain, which you gotta admire their optimism. You gotta admire that, if nothing else. The machine herself with a guard on her. Let's see, get the guard off. The chain seems a little loose. Full set of instructions. I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to be needing them. I'll put them back in there. It is fair to say that I can sometimes be harsh in my treatment and my description of these budget tools, but I try to be honest. They're recommending a 2 amp battery. I put on a 4 amp just to see. The chain's loosened already again. I'll take out the battery here. Yeah, the chain adjustment is not to my pleasement. Right, I'm going to get up and close and personal with this adjuster. If you see that adjuster, it's not. There's no manual adjustment in this thing. That's a spring-loaded thing. Just there's nowhere to adjust that. There's nowhere to adjust that at all. What you probably have to do. There's read the instructions, but I'm not going to do that. Make sure put your chain on the right way. That's the right way. Anyway, you just put that on there and give that a push to get this chain over here. I don't like that. I do not like that one bit. That concept just seems, I don't know, just seems ridiculous, to be honest. Seems a ridiculous way to have a chain adjustment, just a thing like that. And I suppose it's all right, but I'm not keen. I'm not keen on it, to be quite honest with you. But I'll tighten it up, and hopefully it'll stay. And this is just hand tightening, like there's no wrenches or anything. But you can understand that from Parkside's point of view, because they are a budget company and it's designed for people that don't have any tools or don't work at anything really. I have a criticism of it, but it's not a bad criticism, because some of the more expensive ones of these pruners don't have a reservoir for the oil. So I'm going to have to run the oil around the chain periodically. It's not a self-oiling chain. It's important to do that, but I don't think, especially if they're recommending the 2 amp battery, that was going to be able to do a while lot with a full charge. But we'll try and find out. So we're going to try this bad boy out now. Here we go. There's a problem with this. It keeps cutting out because the battery keeps falling off. That's suboptimal. We'll try and keep the battery on and keep her going here if we can. Look at the battery. It's fair to say we experienced an operational problem right out of the gate with this one. When you put the battery on, it's not clicking in, it's not getting far enough, look. And when I was using that, the battery kept falling off. I'm going to try another battery just to see, but I think there's a severe problem with this device. They have recommended a 2 amp hour battery. It shouldn't make any difference. The profile at the top should be the same. If this doesn't fit, it's definitely it's the same problem. Same problem. Look at that. Oh. You don't have to put in the button to click it in because it's not clicking into place properly. There's a bad manufacturing problem with this saw. Look at that. That's a no-no there. I am Dr. Lefthandthread, so here we go. Here we are. She's good to go now again. I just provided this temporary battery solution to see if it can cut at least. For cutting the ball, I have to give her a thumbs up. But there's a glaring problem here, guys. I'm going to show you this battery problem in greater detail here. You see there's a slot for this slot here and the battery to go into. And as you slide that on, this should go down and then go back up again. But you see that's not fully coming back up to where it should be. And you don't have to press the button to release it. But once you start using the saw and the vibration of the saw, the battery starts to vibrate off itself and then the tool stops. That's a big problem. Before we finish our final thoughts on this, I'm going to take out all the screws. There's 14 or 15 screws there, I think. I'm going to pull them out and take off the side to see what's going on inside, to see what we got for that $24.99. Here we are, we're on now. So it's a fairly simple construction. With just a gear and pinion or whatever and a nice bearing there and a motor, just a 20 volt motor, brushed sealed motor and a micro switch. You know, this is fairly fascinating to me for two reasons. On the one hand, there's not much to this. We have a little board here down at the bottom, not sealed board, a couple of wires up to a wee micro switch and a wee basic brushed motor driving this simple mechanism. It's a very simple, very basic, very cheaply put together structure, but I still can't understand. That's the first thing. But the second thing is I cannot understand how Parkside can cobble this together and sell it to me for $24.99. It doesn't make sense. I bought a very similar looking motor to this a couple of weeks ago, like this, and it cost £30 on its own, just the motor. It was for a Makita device, you know. So I just can't fathom it. They do fascinate me, but there's severe cheap out build quality issues with this to call it anything decent. I can't believe they get something that works. It does work. There is glaring issues, which we touched upon on this video. But I'm going to put it together and give you my final thoughts here. That's it back together. My thoughts are, it does cut. It does cut. It is cheap. It's amazing that they're able to cobble that together and package it and put in a case and put a spare chain with it and oil for $24.99. It beggars belief. I still can't believe it. But the battery retention issue, we can't, that's the elephant in the room, you know. It goes on. It doesn't go on fully. So here we are. If you have to do this with your battery on your brand new tool, and there's nothing wrong with the battery, it's a Parkside battery, I don't think there's any point in buying it even at $24.99. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for all my other videos.